Hello everybody and welcome back to Analog Vernacular. Today we're going to be playing some Rogue Trader and we are in the pits right now. Quite literally. So we're in the gladiatorial arenas of Commorragh, or Commorragh, I don't know how to say it.
Is there money to be made?
And we have a lead on where Abelard is, which is good. So, yeah. I don't know how we're going to get there. Maybe we have to go back out the way we came. Can we go down there? No, we cannot. Okay. Shrieker, beggar. Okay, can't get there either. Humanly, relax with us, take a stimulant and enjoy yourself. Okay. Tell me about your kind. The Slith? My kind were a gritty people. We always wanted more, and that's why we were rapacious and indomitable. Nothing could sate our growing appetite. We could have conquered half the universe if we'd needed to. The bonds that held us together fell away, replaced by more beneficial and attractive alliances, and my kind scattered. Some called it the fall of our civilization, but they did not understand the realization we had come to. That no one needs other people. All you need is yourself. Why are you called Malice? The name is an accurate reflection of my nature, more or less. It was given to me by Gipperal, Archon of the Cabal of the Sheared Tongue. He was a competent master and he knew his servants well, which is why he didn't trust any of them and gave me the honor of guarding him. The Archon liked to watch me savage the assassins sent to kill him, and he named me Malice. I fended off 100 attempts on Gipperal's life. And only once was I too slow, but that was enough to lose my employer, and now I am here. Okay, what are the Shriekers, a gang of criminals? Criminal. In Commorragh, the word sounds like a joke. The Shriekers are a gang of the doomed. They live in expectation of their inevitable death in the arena, and that death makes a lot more sense than all the other deaths on offer in the Dark City. We are gladiators, and go into the arena to rip helpless meat to shreds. Then we become the helpless meat ourselves. When the end is predetermined, and in the spires it's always predetermined, you start to see death in more simple terms. You stop being afraid of it, and you learn to enjoy life. We are a gang of people who enjoy life. Okay? A good lie. Do they all truly believe it? You sell it well. The snake laughs and leans towards you. They believe every word of it, and as long as there are enough believers, the homunculus' servants won't drag me off to the arena. Why would they go to the effort of catching meat for the arena when it's all here waiting for them? Ho ho ho! So it's all self-preservation. He preps them, make sure that they always have willing people who are willing to go, so that he doesn't have to go himself. Clever. I want to know more about the arena. The arena is the giver of life in Commorragh. Without the psychic sustenance created by pain and suffering, the masters of the Dark City would die off. Interesting. So our God Emperor is basically, he's fed psychers to survive, and it seems like there are people here in this realm that require pain and suffering to stay alive. The hungry come to the arena to gorge themselves, and the witch cults that rule the arenas ply their guests with bloody spectacles and heinous torture. The Chasm is controlled by the Fatal Thirst. Not the biggest witch cult, but an old and respected one. 3 succubi stand at its head. Tazara, Koronus, and Sinisthoria. But Tazara disappeared not long ago. And didn't we meet a Tazara? And Sinisthoria has been lying low ever since she forged an alliance between her cult and the Reaving Tempest. So the deadly Koronus is in charge of the arena. Okay, how is it structured? Commorragh is hidden on the underside of existence and is stitched together from scraps of various dimensions and spaces. Long ago, the Eldari created this place as a port, but now it is their refuge from she who thirsts. Commorragh has more bleeding spires than you can count, powered by the energy of stolen suns. An eternal war for the power rages here. Ambitions and passions are the fuel in the fire of an endless conflict of open clashes and covert treachery. The tops of the spires are the domain of the Cabal Archons, and reigning over all is Asdrubal Vect, the supreme overlord of the Cabal of the Black Heart. You will see them, the ruling elite, when you die in the arena, and they will feed on your suffering and gain new youth through it. They seem eternal, they live so long, but they will die one day. Commorragh itself will die. It has been dying for thousands of years already, disintegrating at its foundation. Nothing in this world is eternal. Okay, why are we here? This is the Chasm, the place where those destined for the arena of the witch cult of the Fatal Thirst eke out their existence. It's also where the homunculus's cast-offs end up. Tervancius from the Coven of the Baleful Thorn. He has his own little nook here where he conducts his experiments. The Chasm is an endless source of raw material for his work, and the best results are destined for the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest, the patron of the witch cult and of Tervancius in particular. Why do you think I wound up here? I couldn't care less why you're here. My guess is you were dumped. The Chasm is a cesspit. Everything gets thrown in here. Rubbish, bodies, prisoners, it all simmers together until the Drukhari masters fish out whatever they need from the pot. Fighters, entertainment, living flesh. Okay.
I always have a backup plan.
Let's go find Abelard. I wonder if a pathway's now opened towards the north area?
Let us not dawdle.
Okay, those guys are gone. That's good. 0%.
I won't let it define me.
I thought for sure I was gonna get that. I'll take that. Ha! Got to it first, Shrieker. Ooh, 10 is really bad. Should I wait on that? Will I get it? I'm gonna have to come back this direction. I don't even know if Yurliet is down here with us. She's our other tech one who will make this a little bit easier, but I may just need to leave that. Because if I try it right now without having any keys or anything, I'm gonna kind of screw myself over.
Keep your wits about you.
Okay, 10% there as well. % there. The razor-sharp keel of the flying craft glints fearsomely in the dim light. Portal to the arena. Okay, that is not where we want to go right now.
I always keep my options open. Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
It's happened a little too frequently. You know, something I just considered is... Okay, it won't let us take it out of there, okay. I do need to be careful about stuff that's automatically going to cargo, because some of it I may actually want to keep at this point, and I just threw it all into cargo without really looking at it. Some of that might have been good gear for me to keep. I don't know when this was, but... Oh, it was right there. Okay.
I
that's
always
not
have
bad.
a backup plan.
Okay, let's just uncover map here. Transport adorned with massive blades would make for a deadly weapon on the battlefield.
Let us not dawdle.
Okay, well, didn't have to reload, but I just wanted to be certain. Like, if there was a piece of gear that was in that grouping, then why doesn't it tell me where that one goes? Anatomica Opera. This one is unknown.
Keep your wits about you.
What the hell just happened? Somebody just kill somebody?
I always keep my options open.
Oh. Those guys weren't there before, were they? Set the elevator into motion when wretched victims die inside the device. Lovely. Okay. Oh, that takes us to the Mangled sector. Okay. Should we go into this opera place to just look around real quick? Anatomical opera? Not this way, meat. Okay, rack. Look at this fucking guy. Okay.
Is there money to be made?
Yeah, we're not doing so hot, are we? Okay.
I always have a backup plan.
I'll take that. Nice place. I have cut my eyelids off to keep my eyes vigilant. Danger is everywhere. Okay, 50-50 on that athletics check. No, because we It looks like there's gear back here, but we have to get through a demolition check that's only 5%. So we need Argenta. Is it Argenta that no, it was... I think our best athletics was Heinrich's? Or was it Abelard? The otherworldly shimmer, for athletics, I think it's Abelard, and then demolition would be Argenta. Yeah. Otherworldly shimmer of nothingness promises peace and quiet.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Well, this is a trip. My loot! Hey, it's Argenta! Rogue Trader, Sister Argenta greets you with a glowing gaze and a confident smile. The God Emperor did not forsake his chosen one. I prayed for our paths to cross once more. Are these people bowing to her? Oh good, she found her people. Argenta gestures at everyone around her. Your arrival is timely indeed. With the Emperor's chosen on our side, we can come out of hiding and exact vengeance upon the enemies of humanity. But I shouldn't take up your time. Speak instead to the Commissar, the one who leads these valiant souls. He will tell you everything you need to know. Okay, so she's working with the Commissar. So we're gonna betray, the Slith guy, right? What happened to you after we ran into that trap? My memory betrays me. I lost consciousness soon after they dragged us into the shadows. I came to in a filthy arena. They had set some clawed beast against me. When I slew it, they sent another. I killed them all, one after another, and the unseen spectators demanded more and more. At last I had an opportunity. One of the beasts I fought damaged the enclosure and I managed to escape the arena. You should have seen how quickly the scum who whooped and cheered from the stand set off after me. I forged a path with sword and bolter. You found a bolter? And wandered for a long time in the darkness, and then I wound up here, where a loyal servant of the Emperor found me and gave me a chance to serve him again. Who is the Commissar? A loyal servant of the Emperor, who has not lost the will to fight even in this impenetrable gloom. He has mustered a resistance, everyone who can hold a weapon and refuses to accept the fate of a toy, in the clutches of vile Xenos. The dwellers of these dungeons are myriad, and most are lacking in soul, courage, or willpower. The Commissar and his associates seek out the true champions of the Imperium, among them and prepare those people for the battle against the Xenos. Providence itself has brought me here. I assisted the Commissar in his search in hopes of finding you among the captives. I devoted myself to helping the faithful yet frail pluck up their strength, and guiding the able yet desperate toward hope. And my efforts have already borne fruit. 2 squads have gone on a scouting mission to discover safe passage out of Commorragh. Okay? And who are these people? I found them, subjects of the Imperium who were taken to this den of misery and despair, scattered across this vast chasm. They were condemned to suffer for the amusement of enemies of humanity. But the beasts were wrong in thinking we would simply resign ourselves to our fate. I share my faith in the future with them, the future that we will claim with his name upon our lips. You will join me, will you not? Argenta looks at the people around her and nods. I served the Resistance for as long as I could. My duty to these people is done. It is high time I rejoined you and pursued my original mission, but first, allow me to address a few final words of guidance to my flock. Argenta turns to her audience and her voice fills with zealous fire. Servants of the Emperor, children of humanity, be strong in your resolve and pure in your faith, for our deliverance is at hand. Still your hearts, for a great trial lies ahead of us. But the reward for passing, it is freedom. Okay, welcome to the group, girl. She's doing better than we are. Clearly. Okay, what have you got? You said you had a bolter. You lie. Alright, you can do a heavy stubber, though. So let's give you the heavy stubber. And then... do we want to give you a shotgun, or do we want to give you a pistol and a weapon. Now, without a hammer or something, I don't think that's as useful, so... For now, we'll just give you that. I'd rather you have the extra dodge. She's already built for dodging pretty well. So, yeah, you're 56. We'll let you keep that. It's only for attacks of opportunity, but still. Okay. We have no explosives for this stuff. Oh, that's the Commissar. The makeshift Aquila looks somewhat pitiful, but the evident diligence and passion that went into its creation speaks of the piety of its makers. They don't need it, right? Okay, we're not gonna kill the Commissar, I don't think. Why should we? The stately man in a Commissar's coat and a tall service cap greets you with a sign of the Aquila and a solemn announcement. I totally thought we were gonna run into Abelard first. Another loyal servant of the throne has found his way to us through these confounded catacombs. Fear not, approach. If you have faith in the Emperor, then you will find only allies here. I actually stand above you, bro. Make the Aquila. The Emperor protects. Indeed, the Emperor protects. The Commissar's imperious booming voice repeats your call, and the rest follow suit. Look at the Commissar. One might think that the archetypical Commissars from Imperial Guard propaganda posters are all life drawings of this man. He has a large and powerful jaw, his eyes are hard and fearless, and the small scar over his brow adds a certain rugged charm to his features. His coat, though worn, has been diligently cleaned and mended, and the skull on his tall cap has been polished to a shine. Who are you? The man replies with clipped precision. Commissar Iako Sotny. But my brothers and sisters in arms prefer to call me simply the Commissar. I was assigned to a regiment of the Vicentian Zouaves, and I fought in the battle for the world of Commorragh Secundus, where I was wounded and taken prisoner while unconscious. Having recovered from my wounds, I carry on fighting the wicked Xenos as the head of the local resistance cell which I founded. The Commissar's speech is vehement and decisive. My valorous comrades and I sabotage the enemy's activities while we devise our plan of escape. Okay. Keep up the good work, Commissar Sotny. Will do. We stand for the Imperium. The Commissar turns his burning gaze to his fighters and they erupt in a roar of battle cries. Okay? I require medical assistance. We need to find out if, if we don't kill the Commissar, we have to find another way to get rid of this worm that's in us. The Commissar examines you critically. You do not look too badly injured, and we are suffering from a severe shortage of medical supplies. Better to save what we have for critical situations. Okay. What does your resistance do? Our first ongoing objective is to keep bolstering our ranks by seeking out prisoners who haven't yet lost faith and willingness to oppose our nefarious jailers. Our second priority is to arm ourselves and train. I teach my soldiers the basics of guard tactics in order to mold them into a fully fledged assault unit. Most importantly, we gather information and plot our escape, and the day when we pave the road to freedom with the corpses of detestable Xenos is nigh. The Commissar's rallying shout makes his people square their shoulders proudly, straighten their backs, and respond with a fierce war cry. And the circumstances of your capture? We engage the enemy on the world of Commorragh Secundus in the Marcane Marches of the Calixus sector. The loathsome foes of humanity were known to launch raids in the area, so we received orders to defend the good subjects of the Imperium. When the profaners descended upon us, we gave them no quarter. The enemy was routed, and my unit drove them back to their ships. Our counterattack drove a wedge into their advancing horde and thwarted the invasion. It also meant that we were cut off on both flanks and surrounded. We fought valiantly for several hours to stop the enemy ranks from reforming for a new onslaught, until we depleted our munitions reserves. By that time, our superior officers had already fallen, so I led my people in a bayonet charge. We taught the Xenos a lesson in blood, and then I have no memory of how the battle ended. I came to consciousness in this foul place, disarmed and on the verge of death. I thought I'd die, but it was not yet time for the Emperor to release me from his service. Okay. Malice sent me here for your head, however I have no desire to cause you harm. The Commissar lets out a contemptuous laugh and nods approvingly at you. That scaled miscreant has long since wanted me dead. He craves my soldiers. He forced us from our base to this perilous place, but he will pay for his scheme soon. Once my plan is set in motion, it is a disgrace to serve one such as he. You ought to join our ranks instead. Together we will break out of this accursed city. Okay? What is your escape plan? The Commissar's speech is brisk and energetic. Some of our own have captured a small Xeno ship that was moored for repairs at a remote unused dock. They eliminated the crew quietly, but left the pilot alive to sail the ship back to real space. We can get to the dock through a dimensional portal located at our old base. Was it Sergeant Vigasti's squad that was tasked with capturing the ship? Did he survive? The Emperor protected him, and he did not fail the Emperor. Vigastis is in good health and waiting for us to arrive. Regrettably, Malice and his shriekers drove us out and took over the base. So the first order of business will be to confront him there. I propose that you take him by surprise and deliver the first strike. We will support the attack from the outside. Okay? Every step in the Commissar's plan when taken separately seems viable enough. When combined together, however, the chances of success become so ludicrously slim that only a complete madman would agree to this strategy. Is the idea that we take the brunt of it so he can get the rest of them to escape? Or does he just have a bad plan? Huh. Who are the people under your command? The core of my unit is composed of prisoners from various Astromilitarum regiments and a number of planetary guards. They form the assault squad and that went on the special operation under Sergeant Vigasti's command. The rest are common people, who had the misfortune of being captured by Xenos. Serfs, nobility, administrative clerks, technomats, void workers, monks, anyone who found the courage to take up arms. The only kinds you won't find here are heretics, lawbreakers, and cowards. Trust me, Vernacular, these people can be relied upon. In their darkest hour, they found a source of resolve and faith, and each among them is ready to give their life for their righteous cause. Many already have. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared that choosing a side here may decide, like, I wish that I knew where more of our allies were. Like, what if Yerliet is working with the other side and by joining this one, we can never get her back in the party or something? I don't know. I'm just like, I'm thinking of the possibilities here, and I'm scared. How have you managed to accomplish so much? Every morsel of intelligence we have acquired and every step of progress we have made was paid for in blood and pain. The information about the dying cabal that dreads entering the docks of its enemies and instead moors in an abandoned area was forced out of captive Xenos. The knowledge of the portal was brought in exchange for 1/2 of all the weapons we have stockpiled, and taking that ship cost us several lives, each of which was worth more than this whole blasted city. Alright. Well, we also said that we would join Malice, and so I wonder if we'll still have a choice at some point, but I shall join you. The Commissar laughs and exclaims approvingly, "My brothers and sisters in arms, a new fighter has joined our ranks. The Emperor's grace is with us." Okay. Okay, so Abelard is somewhere here. Okay, so we can still make the choice between the two. Oh, Argenta, you need to come with me too. Test failed. Damn, I wonder if that could have been loot. I may have not wanted to do that.
Let us not dawdle. I always keep my options open.
Oh, that's Abelard right there. You can barely recognize your loyal Seneschal Abelard Versarian in his pitiful hunchback figure, his officers bearing his broad shoulders, his direct and piercing gaze, all gone without a trace. What you see before you is a decrepit, quivering old man rummaging through malodorous refuse and mumbling under his breath. It takes you a second to make sense of his hoarse lisp. Katharina, love. What am a second fruits? Of course, love. The children are making mischief again. Katharina, where are you? The old man's frail voice is laden with tenderness and longing. Abelard? Oh, Katharina. Abelard laughs faintly and immediately launches into a coughing bout. Deep lines run across his face, and a blurry film of cataract clouds his eyes. The Drivistems are at it again. Another council session. Another appeal to the Legitiums. They will never be satisfied, love, until they make us and our children disappear. Perhaps we should just give in. You always say that Dargonus is not your home, love. Abelard is looking past you at someone only he can see. There is a timid smile on his trembling lips. So I wonder if the worm is like a little bit further along in him, if he got the worm like we did. Okay. What are we going to do here? We're going to be fairly good at persuasion. 50-50 still. That one's 55. We don't have a stimulant. Okay, well, let's try coercion. Seneschal Abelard Versarian, cease this display. You serve rogue trader von Valancius, not your fantasies. Ooh, we got it. Abelard flinches. A glow lights up in his watering eyes. What's that, Seneschal? Who's calling me? Abelard looks at you and takes a shuddering breath. Saint's blood, Lord Captain, you're alive. With a groan, Abelard tries to straighten, his hunched back. Thank the God Emperor, death has not found you yet. Then again, given the circumstances, it may be for the worst. Who is Katharina? Abelard gives you a tense, embarrassed look. My late wife, Lord Captain. I think in the time I wandered around here, my sanity may have suffered. For a time, I hope. It appears my mind can no longer stomach the kind of horrors this place has to offer. I saw her by my side. I saw a different time, a different space. What happened to you? He lets out a cough. That thrice-blasted Zeno simply chucked me aside like a pile of rubbish. I went to look for you, or for help, and I ended up here. This is where it found me, that thing. Memory fails me. All I can remember is bits and pieces and needles. It pumped something out of me, and it pumped something in. I seem to be in one piece, except that creature. Abelard tries to wipe his stained coat with a trembling hand. How should I put this? Its needles siphon the strength out of me. I feel older by a good decade or two. Ooh, rough. He touches his face and exclaims in surprise. My word, I think I am older. Could be why I started seeing things. Never thought I'd live long enough to go senile. What was it that attacked you? A spawn of nightmares, so ghastly my mind refuses to picture a clear image of it. Nothing but meat, metal, and many, many needles. It feasted on my very soul. It would have devoured me whole if it hadn't gorged itself on another prey before me. Okay? We'll get your time back, Seneschal. Pray, Lord Captain, there is enough strength in this body yet. Your Seneschal will not be so easily broken by some... He groans and clutches his side. I could just use a brief respite. Okay, where are the others? I have not the faintest idea, your lordship. All I can say is if I manage to survive down here, the others stand a chance too. There were no weaklings in your retinue. Okay. I for one have had enough of this heap of filth. It is time to move, Abelard. I could not agree more, Lord Captain. I serve House Valancius. Abelard salutes you with a shaking head, and a ghost of his former expression returns to his wrinkled face. Ooh, that's wild. Oh damn, we got level ups? Okay, stolen time. Aged him several decades. Jesus. Okay, choosing a talent. Okay, so what do we got? I think ally coordination was the one that we wanted to take next, right? It just makes it so everybody can dodge more against friendly fire, or takes less damage if they do get hit. 1 wound for every stack. Yeah, I think we're going to take ally coordination. So we took that one already, so we can take that one off this list. And we're going to take ally coordination. Okay. Took heavy gunner. Two-handed ranged weapons within melee range, but with a -10 to ballistic skill. So she can always use her gun. Although that one's less important now because we have methods of getting them away, like with kick. So I don't know if I want to focus on that one. Gaining a stack of versatility increases critical hit chance. That's not bad. Every round, the first single target ability used by an ally on the Archmilitant grants 1 action point to that ally. Okay. I can't really tell if that's giving an action point to Argenta or the person who's applying the buff. It's worded in such a way where I could see it going both ways. Either way, it's pretty good. The Archmilitant gains +1 stack of versatility whenever an ally grants the Archmilitant an extra turn. That happens a lot, so that one would be really good too. Gosh, some debuffs on burst attacks. Now I gotta remember, yes, burst attack would be the one that I want. Area attacks would be like flamethrower. So burst is what I use the most. So that one would be very good. Man, Archmilitant is such a good class. I think I'm going to take Discipline, though. So, +1 stack of versatility whenever an ally grants the Archmilitant an extra turn. Okay. Toughness might be good. Perception would help with dodge. You know, we've wanted to do a little bit in toughness, though, so let's go with toughness. She's kind of just a dodge tank, but her HP pool is not incredibly large. Okay. For each enemy that considers the Vanguard a priority, armor increases. This one goes with the Rawcrete thing. So, temporary HP for anybody who gets affected by it. Punish the Imprudent might be good. Once per round, whenever an enemy that considers the Vanguard a priority target enters a cell adjacent to the Vanguard, that enemy provokes an attack of opportunity. Okay. I already got that. It will not die. I mean, he is a tank, so... Let's do that. 89 HP now. Cool. We need explosives. Revolting puddle of ichor, reeks of suffering. You can barely make out what remains of the bones of some unfortunate soul that appeared to have been digested and regurgitated. That was almost you, bro. As indicated by the bloody trail, a body was recently dragged through here.
Is there money to be made?
Come on, you can reach that from here, right? Oh, interesting. That one also requires Lore Xenos. Okay, well, we don't have explosives, so not much we can do here. Abelard, join us. Also, we need to get you equipped. None of these are chain, unfortunately. 6 to 9, 5 to 7.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Okay, so we couldn't reach either of those because we need explosives. Whoa. Whoa. What was...
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Y'all see that? Oh, there's like gear here. Or loot. Dude had wings. What was that?
Keep your wits about you.
Got it before you could. Why is there so much new loot now? Thought I went over that way, didn't I? There's all sorts of new stuff here now. Shoot the corpse?
Never doubt me.
Oh, nice. Okay, we got one melt-a-charge. One of those said run and gun. When the wearer uses run and gun, they gain plus bonus damage on their ranged attacks, and run and gun does not inflict winded on them. That's really cool, actually. Okay, that's directly for you. Hot on the trail. The only person who has that is Juliet. Is triggered, the wearer gains 1 AP. Okay, so that's not going to be useful. Until we get Juliet. Man, there's new stuff all over the place. I'm nervous about trying these tech checks.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Failed.
I mean, I guess once we get your Liet, we'll still be able to try with everybody, right?
The Emperor favors me today.
Okay, right now we've got 3 tries. Now, technically, I think that... No, it was still a 20%. Okay.
Cast your eye there.
Let us not dawdle. I always keep my options open.
Just parts of people just chilling everywhere. Should we try and go into the arena area, see if there's a party member there we can pick up?
The burden of failure is the most terrible punishment.
I always have a backup
Okay,
plan.
so far so good with some of that stuff. Activate switch.
I failed.
A soldier would have been disciplined for such a performance.
Okay, so those ones actually debuff us when we fail. That makes that a harder ask for us to just do, so I might want to not do those
Is there money
until
to
we
be
get
made?
Yet, so that we have our best chances. Yeah, we got a couple of those. Does lead to some goods over here, but... Wasn't there another one of those here? Which also leads to some goods. Okay. Let's go into the arena. Not sure where we left those behind, but hey, we'll take it.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Okay.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust. Keep your wits about you.
Okay, let's just remember that we have 3 of those computers that we need to try and interact with. 4 now. Yeah, 4 of them in total, I think. 5. 5 in total. Can we go in there yet? Alright, well, we got that melt-a-charge. Oh! There's loot. How do we miss you?
Duty prevails.
Okay. Now, I think the one that we had the highest chances on was the one back where Abelard was. Okay, we've only got 3 party members. Can we take on the Slith guy with only 3 of us? I don't know, man. Okay, the other ones were over here. 75. Oh, that one's 100. kind of doubt we're going to get enough explosives to get to all of these items, so I wonder if I should save scum this to see what has the best item that I want? I don't know, man. That's tough. Oh yeah, that was a Xenos one. I forgot that had a Xenos check afterwards. It's giving us a little preview of what the anatomical opera looks like. Okay.
I always keep my options open.
Who thought that was a good idea?
I guess we may as well come over here and do the 100%er.
I always have a backup plan.
And another explosive. Very good. Okay. Whenever the wearer successfully dodges or parries an incoming attack, they gain +10 momentum. I think that's going to go on you. If the wearer is an assassin and successfully dodges, it automatically creates an additional opening on that enemy. Okay, that one will be for Heinrichs when we find him. Parry % when using swords. Okay, we can stagger, do an immediate counter. Everything's medium armor right now. Oh, these are technically a little bit better. Okay, you two are frontliners, so you'll take the better ones. Okay.
Is there money to be made?
There's no reason to even go and blow that up until we have Yurliet in the party. Because right now it's a 0% to open that chest. Or unless we find one of those multi-keys, then we might be able to open it. I think, but no, I don't even think multi-key showed up on that. I think it's just a Xenos check, so I don't think that even matters. Okay, we weren't allowed to enter the arena. So I think this is the only thing we can do to move forward right now. So let's go ahead and do that in the next episode. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we might have a tough fight ahead of us. So have a good one, everybody. See you in the next one.
I'd like to give a very special shout out to my patron supporters: Darren York, ZTD, Knife Namaste, Kyle the Monarch, Chris Murphy, JW, Quinless, Vlado101, Andy Ford, Bruce Wizzle, Black Mamba 90, Eureka Gecko, A Happy Fat Panda, Turkeyfoot 27, Pedo Kuto, Shadow Raven, Hannah Kate the Great, The Blue Electric Cat, Emily Kuzanoa, Philip Dougherty, and Nadia N. If you would also like to join this tier or any others, check out my memberships or my Patreon in the description down below.